Yes. Okay.
Okay. Well, that's not my fault. There's fictive kin. Fictive would be like your adopted family and things like that. So I know your biological family fucked you over. But listen, you have a fictive kin. You have LGBT, you have, all these stereotypes that you can draw from out of, and you can normalize these stereotypes like we've done queer. Queer used to be a nasty word. Today, it's actually a healthier word than saying homosexual. Queer, gay, queer nation, queer theory. So yeah, I want you to be very uplifted because you have a chance to have an adopted family, your fictive kin, your metaphorical brother who's your spiritual brother or sister. Okay, so you take care. Okay, sure. Bye. I love you. All right. Oh my goodness. These days, we're in a bit of problems, aren't we? Oh gosh, I have to undo these pants. Whew! Can you hear the zipper? Anyways, these are dyed blue leather. Here, look, see? These pants, they're leather. Oh, one moment. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. One moment. Oh! 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 Alright, I have to continue with my diet. But, oh, excuse me for the interference, right? So, there are some things we need to cover. And this video portrayal is dedicated to a pal in Los Angeles I haven't been able necessarily to spend time with, although the person has said to me, I'm more than happy to be your friend, and things like this. Gee, the lights are so bright. So, this message that I'm relating through this talk, this lecture, is derivative from de facto. You are relatable. If your family does not accept you because you're out of the closet as a gay man, now it's 2018, correct? And if you have family that will not forego the standard human rights across the board, this is what you need to do. All right, you need to be very strong about that. So there are some notes that I have taken in lieu of a fellow in Los Angeles by the name of Ultramillionaire. And you know who I'm talking about because I kind of have just given your name and code. So the work that I pertain to at Social Alchemy Project Access Management has to do with social alchemy and social change and social transformation and becoming your own alchemist and your own healer. Like the Jewish religion tells you, you can heal thyself. So this being the case, I have life coaching. Well, it's called motivational accountability life coaching and counseling alternatives that we are working on to help men understand that the commonality we all have is that we all have very heavy hearts because of rejection, and that puts us in a very dark place for murdering others, or substance abuse, or porn, or getting entangled with the wrong crowd of men that are a little forbidden and taboo. I mean, there's perv, but there's pervert, and it just makes your skin crawl. So, there's this fellow that hooks up with older men who are suspected of being pedophiles. So when the older man falls asleep, the young twink goes into the gentleman's work bag, his leather case, takes out his smartphone and downloads porn from off of this gentleman's smartphone, and then the twink, while the quote-unquote assumed pedo is asleep, calls the police, and the police comes to look at the smartphone, and there's all this kiddie porn, right? And so then the twink gets the police officer to make an arrest, and then the twink robs the man of everything in his house, including his money. So in the dark space that gay men are in because they've been rejected, what they do to gain empowerment is resolve to very creative, highly sophisticated levels of crime and theft. Okay, this is something that is among men. Pardon me, I had to put in my dentures. Men who have sex with men. It's a term created in the early 1990s by the United States federal government structure. Men who have sex with men, called MSM, and is to address across straight, gay, bisexual, LGBT, what have you, straight male sex workers that are having sex with men for money. Ding, 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 ding. Now, I have a lot to say about money because I was raised in the Christian church, like ultra millionaire in Los Angeles, I think. And family has been very difficult on me due to what? My orientation persuasion. Listen to Los Angeles and abroad. You've been direct and you have been honest and transparent in a translucent social psychology. That dark space that you come into within yourself when you meditate and silence your mind and turn to your heart and your breath is a very dark place. So we're going to address this. I need to take these off because it's just, you know, it's just clusterfuck. You know, it's very warm today and let's go with it. You know, we packed with makeup and all that jazz for shock rock. So what we're doing is we are releasing men, and also myself. This is not because, you know, I'm your pastor, I'm your reverend. I don't give sermons, I only give talks and lectures because the whole New World Christ Church, or the Church of Cock, or the Church of the Inner Temple, what have you, a signature Ty Lord Hamilton Church, for my global missionary efforts and things like this, to demonstrate peace, treaty, in the globalization of homosexuality, okay? So in the academics of social sciences, I own the New World Christ Church, okay? It's not really for money. Folks think that money is what gels people together. Contrary. It is love that gels people together. Church, institutional religion, bars, drinking, the medical community, university, government, it's love, okay? And the new philanthropy, what you do with your money, if you don't have a lot, invest in your fashion, because Joan Rivers said before she went into surgery, her last surgery when they put her under for her face work, she said to her daughter, Lisa, honey, if I died, it's been a good life, and I want you to know, Lisa, if I'm not here, don't get out of this surgery, always look good. Never forget. So I'm animated in saying that. I'm very direct because the revelation that you gentlemen have is this one factor. That is, who cares about anybody's soul anyways? Question mark. That's why the gay man resorts to angry sex, sexual violence within the pornographic arts. I support the pornographic arts because there's been studies that have been done on the brain that have come out of UCSB, University of California, Santa Barbara. I'm not a dumbass. I've done my reading, and it's showing that it helps reduce high blood pressure, and folks watch the porn at the end of the day to what? Unwind. And sometimes it might be a better alternative than drinking a glass of red wine that is really not as healthy as it would be, you know, in the early days, because they do things to the wine. So it's not necessarily as in the pigmentation what it used to be for your own cleaning of your own blood. Just know that. There's certain types of bottles of red wine you have to read. Go online and research. I don't have time to be wise and to talk about this, but family not caring about you after you came out of your closets. So who cares about anybody's soul anyways when you move to Los Angeles? Be wise, however, and show the humility and not let your lust override any person who is standing by your side. Now that you have departed from your family, though you might choose later on, be very open, be cool, K-E-W-L, cool, not C-O-O-L, but cool, on the reconciliation, the resurrection. I don't like to use the word forgiveness, but the catharsis and the metamorphoses in your social transformation, and how that helps you societal and gives you what? The undeceitfulness and not such a dark place of rejection to maybe one day go back to your family and inform them of all that is in your heart as a man. This, gentlemen, is psychological masculinity, when you can stand up and do this in the adverse, okay? You know this from women's rights. You know this from black civil rights movements. So, gentlemen, don't cower down. You have an opportunity to show love in the work with yourself by looking good, not misrepresenting yourself, and putting where your money can be put in the new philanthropy. Now, this is a very controversial topic, new philanthropy, but the question is, who cares about anybody's soul anyway? So if you give to humanitarian and charitable organizations for your own labeling, your own branding, your own celebrity image, because it's hitting press where you put your money to, who cares? Because it's love that gels a community, not the almighty buck the fucking fuck the buck. Okay? Thank you very much. It is a world of bisexuality and bi-curiosity and DL, down low, and to almost be pansexual, like panhandling for gold, or panhandling as a homeless person for money. Pansexual means whatever kind of sex comes your way, you pan it, and you'll go for it. So you're basically take it or leave it. You don't even claim to be bisexual. You're just kind of like pansexual. So people, bless your own heart and stay with yourself together and look at, could folks be your fictive kin, your adopted family? This is really important because it is an open market for the courage in you to end deceitfulness, to show psychological masculinity as a man. Don't be afraid to tell your story. My story is male prostitution. My story is bloody domestic violence. My story is hooking up with very wealthy men that grew up in the Hollywood Hills next door to Barbara Eden. I Dream of Jeannie, now behind the Hearst Castle in a huge hacienda in California. It's not even the Mediterranean, next door to Barbara Streisand's property, and he puts a knife over my head. He takes me to expensive dinners, and he rapes me by coercion. I didn't even know I was being raped. So, gentlemen, the dark place requires our courage in the fact-finding, that who cares about anybody's soul anyways? It is by principle to do the right thing and having value for yourself by having courage and showing in your life that you have developed your psychological masculinity. Whether it be because you're gender fuck, you're gender bliss, you cross-dress, you're a wannabe tranny, you don't go for the hormones or the pre-op or the sex reassignment surgery, but you want people to think that you're a mangina and you have a vajayjay that wants to be fucked by both ends because you don't have a cock and you have a hot, sexy Johnny Depp face. Whatever you draw close into you for your psychological masculinity and your connection with other men, whether they are femme or masculine, you have taken the strength in yourself to sacrifice the lies that have been fed to you through what? A racist God, a Baptist Christianity that says God hates fags. Go to the Wilboro Baptist in the Midwest or what have you, the Bible Belt, and you can kind of see that this is not taking care of many people in the mental health department up here. If you are gay, pray for yourself always, because these men out there around you in WeHo, West Hollywood, Tinseltown, what the fuck you want to call Hollywood, are what? Madonna would even tell you this from out of the UK. Fucking desperate. So do these things in your truth, where you live your bliss, so you can respect yourself. You're angry, you want the best for yourself, you're making mistakes, you're using deceitfulness because you think people need to be told what they need to be told, so they what? Open a door of good luck for you. When really, you haven't given any trust for intentional community development in an ethical, welcoming collective consciousness. And listen, like I tell the Christians, sure you're a Christian, but you're 10 miles away from Jesus Christ. Sure you're a gay man, but you are not in the mind frame yet of what? Community organizer. Hollywood, get this, is about not what you take from Hollywood, but what you give to Hollywood and Hollywood gives back. It's all Buddhist, really. It's like put good karma out there, good karma comes back. Like in Hindu, there's bad karma food, you know, animal meat and sugar, and then fried food, and then there's good karma food, raw vegetables. Same thing. There's good karma energy you put out there, and good karma energy comes back. You taking this to build your heart, and God, man, build your heart and work at that muscular chest, because I want to lactate your masculine nipples, gentlemen. Make sure some bloody breast milk with HIV comes out of it, and you'll be menstruating like a good old-fashioned stud. It doesn't matter your perversion of culture of gay manity, the vantage point of gay humanities is what I've termed it as. Because you are looking to meet nice people with mature thinking. And as I say, always, never trust anybody that has not been through anything. Do not trust anybody who has not been through anything. You know what that's referring to, don't you? It refers to you finally saying, all right, I am very pivotal to social alchemy, to social transformative change, to political homosexuality, or gender politics, or what you want to say. You are here, gentlemen, looking for your soulmate, the man who can spend the rest of your life with you and love and cherish you always, because you are a very open-minded person, because you have been through things and you can be trusted in the changes and the adaptation you have in life. This is being fair as dentures. I can hardly speak without my dentures. This is being fair as an individual, to spend your good times and bad times as a psychological man with a wholeness, beingness of heart, where you pray to God Almighty Creator that you will provide your society a kind of manhood that everybody is looking for. When you do this, gentlemen, and you're gay, you'd be very surprised at how many straight men fall in love with you and how many heterosexual women are right there to back you up. Because why? Because, and I say this in my lectures and my talks, it's a transparency you give in a translucent social psychology. What do you have to lose, gentlemen? Everything is fleeting, transitory, and temporal as it is. So who cares about anybody's soul anyways on your behalf or my behalf? Look for quality guys inside of you. Look for those quality men inside of you. We all, men, love different types of men, rough trade, all that jazz. But in the kindness and integrity and the sense of humor you use a dark sense of humor. In the rejection and the dark place that you are in, every day matters for you, and you should live as it is your last day. That's what James Dean said, former late actor who's now dead. Because one day it will be about a very pretty and sweet sounding jingle. Listen, gentlemen, you wake up in the morning, you hear birds, you hear crows hawking, okay? The measures of beautiful music nature gives you is not going to be the last time love reaches you. Despite family rejecting me and family rejecting you. Daily, please, gentlemen, you may feel yucky, despairingly, pissed, disgusted at yourself because your heart is broken over your own self. You've been idealist, you've made mistakes, you're not where you wanted to be. Listen, educated or not, 401k, retirement, savings or not, I can interview people at the pier, the wharf, the boardwalk, the Ferris wheel in Santa Monica, and I'll ask hot, healthy-looking men, are you where you thought you would be, or did life kind of take a turn? Most people will say, you know what, my family's a fucking mess, I call it family insanity. How did you know that that's the way I feel? I feel like a what? A desperate, goddamn, successful loser and convenient slut. Gentlemen, that's okay. That acknowledgement and that story you give to the public sector, like I'm doing via, electronic apparatus, tech community, YouTube, you show story based on what you were raised to know. Listen, you've probably heard this. When you are confused of what career you should take, the best thing that you need to arrest yourself over is that you are going to go into something that you already know about. For me, that's the Madonna whore culture, right? But look, who really cares about my soul? As long as people have money? No, as long as people have love. This life is bullshit, filled with status markers, gentlemen, and who does what in the haves and have-nots does not make any sense to escape through the drugs you can buy, because of money. What matters is love and forgiveness to yourself, being compassionate to yourself, and rising up like the phoenix, all right? After the volcano ruins the plantation and all the foliage and the plants and the trees, what grows? Flowers. So nobody can say to you that you are going to hell. Nobody can say to you that you are the devil when you use illicit drugs. Nobody can be that person that gives you the same high as coffee. It's only 5 times the amount of high, and you're addicted to crystal meth and you are a con artist, or you are a dick because you keep being tempted to play with fire. Gentlemen, hell, Lucifer, that's part of being a man, pushing the envelope. That's part of machoism. That's part of why gay men love other men. It's because people drift off into dishonesty, dissension, and contact the dark evils underground. But no more. The truth teller is you to come forward and say that, hey, I'm fun, I'm nasty, playful, and I'm an authentic sub-bottom fucker. This is okay. This is getting you to a place of saying, hey, there's tainted love, there's distortion thinking, you know these terminologies, and so maybe being a man boy the age of 52 is something that I need to kind of beat myself up over and suck something down my throat and edge something into my throat and not let it choke you just yet. Submissive in bed, submissive in life, because family has rejected you. No, it doesn't look that way. Because you are strong, physically and mentally able to carry out a conversation of why you care for your own soul's darkest moments. Be pushed to your knees, not to suck cock, gentlemen. At least not right now through this YouTube video portrayal and emotional dialogue. But be pushed to your knees and be a stud. Be your boyfriend to yourself. Call yourself, sir, I am the cock-rocks above all the wannabe gay people that are Christians. We can play together or we can be apart. No family member in the engaging educational speaking of you has the right to put you down weakly when there's no support group for people like you or like me who have been diagnosed with mood disorders, whatever your ailment is. Because in the seeking local community support as gay men, gentlemen, we are the depression. We are the bipolar support alliance of a fucked up Christianity, fucked up families. This is a free support group that you start in your what? Your self-governance and your social alchemy. Self-alchemy. Come share your experiences, insights, and listen and learn with compassion with other men around you that are coping and trying their best to use personal strategies that can be shared with you, and you as return courtesy response, because it's love that gels people, not money, even though at AA they hand out the plate for you to give your money. I don't understand that. But you as return, as courteous response for them giving you personal strategies and insights of how to cope, you show them how to improve upon each one moving forward to a new global human family through what? Technology. Do you need your biological family? No. Maybe if they help you out with money. But are they going to give you the acceptance to let you feel like you can join the human race? And you have a leading, peer-directed national organization, social alchemy project, focusing on most prevalent mental health conditions and rejection in that dark space that we go through as men. No, gentlemen, you don't need your biological families endorsing that. You are current. You are visionary futurists. God forbid, don't not tell me you're not an entrepreneurial. You are readily, understandably getting it. Because why? You are aware awake. I'm not telling you anything you do not already know. I'm just awakening you like your Swamiji or your Guru or your Yogi or what have you. These are the empowering tools, gentlemen, for what? The integrated approach with psychological masculinity. Now, straight men that are married, that are Christians or not Christians, they're not going to teach you that. But you, in your conscious effort, is an inner requirement for your application of alchemy. What is your application? What is your self-discipline within your being for adequate directions you give yourself based on the experiences of the dark side of the soul? This sense of fulfillment. Pardon me, I got to put in my dentures. Barely speak. This experience is a sense of fulfillment and is the motivation. And Social Alchemy Project Access Management, God fucking damn it, even if you have AIDS or I have AIDS, is going to hold you accountable to what? Expanding your own territory. Listen, you're gay. You're not going to stink your wing wong up a giny whiny pussy wussy to have babies, right? So how do you expand for your own sake your territory if you can't have your own family? You do it with this and this, not this. Listen, this helps. Ching, 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 ching. But it's been used as a perversion for God. It's the at-date mafia. The Christians, they panhandle for money as though they're homeless at the pulpit, the pastor on Sunday morning, and they call it the Compassion Fund, and yet nobody allows you to, in the external motivation they're supposed to give you, ask you to join their pastoral care ministries, because they want your what? Your almighty buck the fuck and fuck the buck. That's what they want. It is the mission of you to have love in your heart. Now, the heart is difficult to polish. The heart is a cold heart, right? The heart needs something that is preliminary, that is the prerequisite, that prefaces the love of heart. And that is what? The mind, the consciousness. By that, you have your application. No disappointments, dentures, because you have produced fruit. Now, this is better than being a self-proclaimed Christian in my book, because we're talking about love. To love and be loved by same gender, of age, consensual adults. Thank you very much, church. Why are they concerned about sodomy? Not everybody who's gay gets those signals in their body. Fuck me up my ass, because I'm a cum dump. The emotional dependence that we have on families and people acting just a little too perfect and therefore not liking what they see in people because of their criticism. This makes people angry and envious and jealous and blaming and demented and insane. And there's no inner effort that they think they need to nourish their beings, because why? They can buy what they want because of ching! On Sunday morning, like I've said, Jesus makes a lot of money. Ching! At the Christian casino. And got news for you. Jesus is broke and Jesus is homeless, and he went home to home and town to town. People had to give him fruit. Now, in these days, if people have to help you out, they call you a parasite. They call you a leech. The need to be affirmed in a modern, contemporary, beyond millennial age, 2018, is nearly impossible, because you're not allowed to give the inner effort to what? See within your love for courage to gain what? Superiority over the dark night of your soul. That dark side in the night of the soul. The majority of individuals use only a tiny portion of the effort needed to nourish themselves inwardly. That means rewind. Albert Einstein, you only use what? A very low 10% of your brain. If you use more, there's so many great things that you can concentrate on and do. There are many aspects to whatever you are to do in the external and inner being of you that not only raises consciousness of the true I am that you are, but gives you the priority to what? Be legit, because your mind is put together and you are doing what you were born to do. This is now the experience of social alchemy project intuitiveness. This is your support group with you. Seeking to subject websites to criminal and civil liability, like Craigslist taking personals, men meeting men, off of the website. Because when third parties, users, are misusing online personals unlawfully, any tool or service can be misused further because it becomes the social norm. This is also Sociology 1A. Dentures can barely speak. Deviation, deviant behavior, what have you, is subjective. And the Christians, regrettably, have jeopardized our services by putting us in rejection mode, to be rejected, to think we're going to be rejected, to be put into a very dark state. Well, now we're meeting men on Craigslist, on personals, and the reason why it's taken off is because men that are straight are prying off of other men that have children for what? Human sex trafficking. U.S. Congress just passed H.R. 1865 FOSTA, F-O-S-T-A. The H.R. 1865 allows states and victims to fight Online Sex Trafficking Act of 2017, 115th Congress, 2017-2018, is the bill that expresses the sense of Congress to do this. Those that unlawfully promote that shadow is normal. It's the human condition. And in your career, like I stated, work with what you know, because you are the interactive computer, because the brain has a memory. Your cock and asshole certainly have a memory, case in point. And the heart and the muscles, when you're in a car accident, have memory. So you are the interactive computer storage and service provider of other users for gay meaningfulness. I want what Congress is doing to ignite, to unite men. To the millions of spouses and partners, as Craigslist says, as well as couples who have met through Craigslist. You are wished happiness. But when a door closes in the house, a window opens. Now, I don't know much about your prayer life, but this is what I'm going to explain to you. You can pray for being straight. That may never happen. But you can pray for other things that never happen. But listen, your creator, your maker of your complex social, cognitive science up here is made for you to demonstrate leadership and psychological masculinity. It is a tough place to be when you're rejected. You mourn the loss of family and loved ones. You have for years wanted to be the real man that you are, and you've become close to that man. But nobody is out there that you want to date because you need to be cared for. And people are takers more than givers, such as Hollywood. That's why I'm emphasizing what you give into Hollywood is what comes back. That, in actuality, is courage and psychological masculinity when you teach other men this. No matter you looking into their sinister eyes, no matter if they're probably a creep or a dick or will become an old perverted troll and move to Palm Springs and not quite a nice looking fart. Because men get away with letting men remain underdeveloped. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's fucking goddamn bullshit if you're a masculinist theorist, like feminist theorists. All you radical gay pussies that are radical feminists because you're mama boys, listen, come on the side of gay masculine men because we are masculinist theorists. We are a masculinist movement, like a feminist movement. And that is because the man does not have to be selfish anymore. He knows the right way, he knows the wrong way, and he knows that he is being a fucking goddamn AIDS-infested fungus on the tip and underneath the foreskin prick. Gentlemen, complete your life's goal. Hold yourself accountable. Be motivated. Educate yourself. Take a class. Change the affections of your soul, where you're no longer a beggar for love. And now you know that in your sweet destiny, you are a gentleman. Because you and me can be trusted, because we've been through something. Consider this your alchemy, your mantra. In the world that's molested you, in a world that you have molested through heart and soul and body, you are a master of getting older, and you have a choice to age gracefully or not to age gracefully. Now, there was something I was going to say that I've said in the past, but it left my mind because I'm so eaten up by this topic of high standards in a gay men of culture with money hard-ons. I know the drill. I know the drill. It's raped me, actually. Literally. Because the money provided exquisite cuisine. These are restrictions to the man living whole. He has to go through manure to get to the flowers, so that in the pristine days to come ahead, he could integrate any spiritual excursion he has as he meets men for contact, for connection. You explored your bondage, you did. Pardon me. I get so animated, like a fucking bipolar. I can barely speak. Let me see what this webcam is doing. Alright. Oh, continuation. Living in the restrictions of others people's high standards for you that they place on themselves is injustice. And by your voice, you can change this in the front of others, and you can start liking your own resort. Your nude optional retreat in Palm Springs up here. Even if you don't have the money to get there, it's the retreat. You come from a lot of sexual energy. You've explored bondage, discipline, no structure though, chastity, collar and leash, forced nudity, humiliation, drinking piss, smelling shit, licking balls of the man while he's on the toilet, taking a nice masculine hardcore black dick crap out of his ass. It's really a blessed life when men can be, what? Savage. Because sex is not meant to be clean in tribal communities. So this is why you have an eloquent and authentic New World Christ Church, because you have been through hell and you are still here. because you live on purpose, like Irving Berlin, or like Robert Browning. Right. Use your sexual energy. Incorporate this into the vacation of your mind for the culture of men that can help men, because you have what? The liberated mind. Disciples are not born. Disciples are trained. So in the liberated mind, you also train yourself to disciple others, to shepherd others, to care for others. That's what I teach you men at a New World Christ Church. And using the social sciences and behavioral sciences and public health issues like STDs being the highest in the country in LA, unfortunately, you can go within yourself and you could appreciate your own evolution, because you are spirit. Now, that's pretty fabulous if you want to ask me. Inasmuch as we live in an age-restricted gay community of guidelines, discipline is very important. I'm not talking about disciplinary, sadomasochism. I'm looking for, a hot, muscular black man to break into my apartment and stick an unloaded gun up my ass, because that really turns me on. This is what we're going to come out with Living It Up. We're revealing the dark side of Beverly Hills. But gentlemen, that's not the discipline I'm talking about, where I have to be subservient in my heart to the panic and the sexual exploit that I really inherently want. Okay, that's not the discipline we're going with the role playing and everything, and I'm going to lick your boot and I'm going to lick your toilet. A lot of licking, let me tell you. It's no matter we don't have there's no matter less than the fact we should have more STDs in the world than what we have right now, particularly among hot men laying around showing off as exhibitionists. Many men are straight, but they're gay in the entertainment industry. My producer friend, I'm not going to give the name, I asked him about, in the later part of 2017, I says, what's going on in Hollywood? What's the trending, right, as they call it? Such a cliche word, the trending. He says, what's going on right now is actors in Hollywood think that they have to look and act straight. I says, really? I says, because, I really am focused on showing up and waiting up with a nice hard-on, because I believe good's happening for me and everybody gets to get off. And Hollywood is all for gender fuck, because I've given it up already like you have, and I've taken it up, and I've stuck it up me, and deeply, and now is the day for what? Being versatile on everything that's all about the male sacred sexuality. New World Christ Church, the cock of church, suck and fuck me, sucking and fucking with sensual energy. So let's do this shit. All right, gentlemen. That's not the discipline we're talking about. I know what it means to be in the clouds. I know what it means to have a cloudy day. You know the codes. You need to just pass through the scenery and just check it out, and you don't have to stay as a participatory, observant person in a gay community of being rejected and being forced into a group solidarity where there's party favors with ambitious types, with hot bodies. Men that call themselves gentlemen, but they hire what they can in the streets. And they are freaks in the sheets. They want your manly hands to hold them. They want you to love them. They want you to spoil them. They want you to help them travel all over the world. They want to thank you for flying the friendly skies because they provide you what? The meth. Gentlemen, there's no discipline in that either. You are to be your own house cleaner, your own hot man boy, farmer, former meth user, no more Tina. May you reach a niceness for you and forgive yourself and love yourself and be empathetic to yourself and understand the social issues that has taken you from compassion for you and true compassion for men because of what? Rejection in the gay community. However, this is your opportunity to not only feel the power of male psychological masculinity, but to work with your gay community to help men become better men and not be little boys. You are the man. You are open and loving to younger dudes that need mentorship without the molestation. Correct, gentlemen? Because men before us, older pedos, have made mistakes in life. People don't want to talk at this level because it's so disgusting. It's so sick. Correct? But today, when you want affection and human sex trafficking is running rampant on these applications, Adam for Adam, Chatterbait, Jacked, Scruff, Craigslist, you're educated, you know what's going on. And in the darkness of a gay subculture, and in the darkness of a racist God that threw you out of the house with your family because them and their religion is so caught up, where do you go but to your pornography? Gentlemen, it's a pornographic, pedophilic, predatory, peeping Tom society. Quote me on that. And you men in college now must pursue total sober reality. The play is over. Am I right or am I wrong? Men, you have grown so much by the experiences of quote-unquote bad boy and hustler pissing your goodness away. But maybe there are other lessons that you need to expect from you on your vacation. Sleep it off. Take some time off. Become handsome. Dress well. Look good, like Joan Rivers says. Continue reading more. Take courage. Stand up for people. Make the distinctions between money and love. In our case, as men, make the distinction between money hard-ons and tainted love. You are doing your best. And you feel alone in your thinking straight as a homosexual convenient slut whore faggot bitch. Correct? I mean, you're expected to call yourself a cunt. Is your mind in the perverted and demented mental illness crap that goes on in your mind, and it is delaying the heart becoming polished in love? Yes? I don't care what chores you do around your room. You've got to do light cleaning, physically and metaphorically, figuratively. You got to pick up your place while you're allowed to be naked. Am I right, gentlemen? Enjoy the sacred sexuality that you have and use self-control. Correct? While you have a desire to know a good man in your gay Mecca, or the Bible Belt, or the Midwest, with no gay Mecca, but only glory holes at adult arcades, you have the desire to know a good man in whatever community you're faced with, that there will be respect for you and him in the changing, the alchemy of one another's lives, and seeking a higher education and growing. You are in search of that special man who needs his home cleaned, and in the event he is a forbidden taboo perv, that man is not in your home right now, and he won't be in your home, and the man that we're talking about now needs to be the one that understands school and his lessons. And I'm not talking about you men that are wearing tight little schoolgirl, shitty plaid, private education, skirts. I'm talking about the real lessons in the hard knocks of life that you have already learned about, that makes you perfect in the applied logic that you are gaining alchemy to the psychological masculinity of the Christ mind. To offer your services politely and spiritually, with not asking for anything to come back in return. Love doesn't ask for favors, but love gives. Love is not self-seeking, but love is self-sacrificing. Gentlemen, you have learned everything that you've learned. So you've got to meet yourself halfway on this. Correct? While you have the desire to organize your thinking, to understand what you need to come out of the closet with your story, and the objective and subjective approaches that just don't work anymore, the way you work yourself over is dusting and doing light cleaning up here on your vacation. Your vacation is not meant for you to piss it away and smoke cigarettes. No. It's meant for your sabbatical. It's meant for your monastery. It's meant for that silence place for the gay man. And for you to say, fuck you racist Christians, you racist gods. Because the way you get ahead is not through hard controlled substances, or engaging and igniting with white trash in the empty space in your heart, where you go back to a gay society and what do? What do you do? I'll tell you what you do. You don't flake on yourself. So, these are the notes that I have online for you. And they are not shared, only to be shared, however, in literature, in writing, journals, peer review, articles, what have you. So come on, guys. It's a snuggle with a struggle. I'm your man, and I'm going to tell you, rewind. Your question is, who cares about anybody's soul anyways? We've given you the tools that you gain through motivational accountability life coaching. My private practice is called the Giant Balloon, to help get men off of crystal meth, to get them out of the clouds. It's called the giant balloon. You get the drill, don't you? But a few more things that I must share with you before we tie up this. If you could give me just a few more minutes, please. Golly, it's nearly an hour video. I'm so sorry. Listen, we're going to tie this up and you're going to love it. I love you. I don't want to do this, but I will, and I would. I would lay my life down and I would take a bullet to my head if it means planting this seed of truth on good soil for you. And if I were to get assassinated or shot as your gay mayor of Santa Barbara or Sausalito or Carmel, I don't care the fuck where you want to place me. Hell, I'll probably be nominated into Senate and then nominated into Congress like Sonny Bono was. He was a fucking dropout of high school and I have a PhD. Well, I'm a doctor candidate. Gentlemen, you have a religious calling. You need to remember this, that in your death and in your resurrection, you are the high mass, correct? You are the new Christ mind, the new thought Christianity, the new Catholic, which means universal, because of your what? Globalization of homosexuality. Listen, I don't know if you're on the other side. I don't know who you are. But I care about you and your broken families. That's why I dedicated this video to many men, not just ultimate millionaire in Los Angeles. I love you. You're a beautiful black man. Gorgeous. You have magnificent eyes. But listen, gentlemen, wherever you're coming from, gender, demographics, economics, I don't care. You can touch your salami all you want, right? Touch your salami because that's your salami, okay? I don't own your salami. I am not going to pursue your salami so I can control you. Because I know how to do that. I'm not a dumbass. Correct? Because men have done it to me. And you must stick with what you know, and that's touching your salami. I joke about this with civilian group lobbyists up in Sacramento, and that's this as follows, colon. I am not talking this colon. You know what colon I'm going to show you, don't you? I'm not talking about this colon. As follows, colon. This is what I tell my civilian group lobbyists. Let people wank, even if it's public exhibitionism. You know your porn. You've seen it all work in action, right? And make money. Lobbyists, I understand LGBTQ rights. Q for questioning. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender. Q for questioning. I understand what we need to do to help end the darkness of the soul because of rejection among men. Because nobody really cares for their souls. Civilian group lobbyists, let the gay men yank on their salamis. Because we have sausage ourselves. You may have salami in your panties, or maybe you're squirming in your jockstrap, I don't know. You may have your salami all set up. But just because it's not the same type I have of meat, I have sausage. So everybody has been gifted with something good. In the current affairs of the civilian group lobbyists that need us as community organizers. Hello, Tyler Hamilton. Nominated to Congress because he wants to end global poverty. Not this, but the global poverty of thinking poor. Correct? Correct. I'll tell you this. What I am discussing with you, regardless of the shock rock, right? The profanity, the vulgarity, I will tell you this, gentlemen, that the royal family of Buckingham Palace is on your side. Wherever there have been gay artists, gay architects, gay designers, Versace, Andy Warhol, directors, producers of film, wherever there have been talented gay men, gentlemen, the wealthy have always taken them in and protected them. Therefore, you don't need the goddamn fucking Christians that have all the money to affirm you. Fuck them if they've kicked you out of their life. Fuck them if they don't reach their own high standards. Therefore, they criticize you and they taught you guilt and they limited your creativity. Fuck them. Listen. My biological name is Newton. I changed my name in order to protect my family because of my fame. Therefore, today, you know me as Tyler Lord Hamilton. I come from Sir Isaac Newton lineage, according to my grandmother. On my mother's side, nonetheless, I come from Armenian Empire. I know, I sound like a total snot, don't I, with the Chanel makeup and everything. I have nothing to show for this, though. My Armenian aristocracy and my lineage of Sir Isaac Newton, right? I have a family member that was adopted by the Haight-Ashbury family in political days in and around the gold rush in San Francisco. I have a great uncle that went to Stanford in the day and got his law degree and lived in one of the streets with mansions right across the street from Stanford University in Palo Alto, some freaking Chaucer Street or something like that. All the names are like so like English. Shakespeare Street, you know, whatever. But listen, I have nothing to show for it, right? Because family, not all family members, have spit me out. Because why? Because I believe in love. I believe in the rights to love and be loved by same gender, of age, consensual, thank you very much. You have that God-given right to stand up in that courage, and just from that fact-finding, dears, a facto, you have psychological masculinity. So, to all the civilian group lobbyists and community organizers in my shoes, ministers, pastors, reverends, researchers, scholar practitioners, the whole drill for the ethical welcoming collective consciousness of all you men. You do the things right now that make you proud and respectful of you in your life when you look back at the next 5 to 7 years. And you have something good to say about your alchemy. And getting you to do this means I have to freaking put you on top of my lap with your bare ass up into my fucking chin, and I have to slap the shit out of your cunt hole. And you're probably gonna fart right in my face. But if that is the treatment a gay subculture gives me, I want you to know this. I have the right, like you do in alchemy, up here, change of mind, change of thought, polishing the heart. Know that you were born noble. You're not born with no fucking goddamn fucking of a fucking fucked up motherfucking sin from Adam and Eve. The Garden of Eden can take care of itself. It's 2018, damn it. You're born noble. I'm tired of these Christians trying to shun you out. One moment, please. Oh, dear. Oh, one moment, please. Oh. Hello? Hello? Hi, I'm wrapping up a video. Can I call you back? Give me 5 minutes. How was your hypnotherapy session or hypnotherapy? She's wonderful, I know. Oh, how sweet. Let's talk later because I'm on video right now being filmed. I love you. Bye. Okay. Dear, if you need hypnosis or neuro-linguistic programming and the linguistics to talk something into your mind because you have low self-efficacy and shitty social cognition, I'm here for you. I've nearly over 400 videos, damn it. I'm doing this because you are smart men out there. You're not dumbasses. I'm speaking to you on that level of smut. Excuse me, I know. I'm so loud. I'm very angry about this. It's a righteous anger. You know, Jesus Christ was very angry in the temple, and he turned over all the tables because all the folks were making money, and it's not the house of prayer that wants this type of thing, Christ says. I'm in the process of opening an international institute for psychological, an international institute for intercessory prayer, but also that's the New World Christ Church and my global missionaries. So I will teach you how to intercede. Intercession means standing in the gap, okay? Your prayer to Christ, I'm just explaining some theology here of what Christians believe. You can believe this or not. I'm awful agnostic and atheist. Never want to throw one of those out of bed. They're very passionate people. I love you. Isn't it fun to talk like a slut in the Madonna whore culture? Listen, it's shock rock. We got to make do of this, and we have to laugh at ourselves in this next generation. We need to teach an uplifted heart. But in intercessory prayer, when you give thought, okay, prayer, okay, wishing to God, whatever you're defining as prayer, correct? The Holy Spirit is groaning on your behalf as you are making your plea known to the Father God. Not just the Father God, but the Father's heart of God. And your Messiah is there because he has died and resurrected. And I'm not talking about taking communion and draining his pee-pee-wee-pee. No. Don't just stop that at New World Christ Church. I'm out of the closet on Sunday morning on that. I'll discuss that. So I know what you're thinking. I know the streets, gentlemen, and I know the elite. I know people in high places. I don't care if you're rich or you're poor. This money does not get anybody the satisfaction they can get when they use love to gel community. They use love to bring back family on behalf of accepting the gay man and his love and his sacred sexuality and his marriage vows and his commitment and dedication to another man of same gender. When God looks down, he does not see pee-pee and giny. He sees heart. He sees himself because of Christ's blood. You get it? You get that? You can do what I've done. Make mad passionate love and be eating at your lover's neck like you're a vampire. I'm not asking for you to draw blood from Christ in a homoerotic way because you're a homoerotic vampire with Tyler Lord Hamilton. I'm asking you to understand that there was a very pivotal point in history where somebody had so much freaking love beyond smoking weed and being high and being enlightened and being loving. He had so much love, so much determination to have people love one another, to set down the new law and to get rid of the old law, which was sacrifice of animals. I don't ask much of why God was making people kill animals to show a rejuvenation of salvation and forgiveness. It's kind of like crazy, isn't it? I'm on that page with you, and I'm in your corner. But there was a sacrifice in the New Testament of the laying down of Christ's blood, and no longer the lamb or the placenta of whatever on top of your house. So when the Holy Spirit came over in the Old Testament, you wouldn't be destroyed, okay? In the New Testament, the sacrificial lamb, gentlemen, I'm not talking about lambs that you get to sodomize and fuck up their asses on the farm. I know farm sex out there. I am educated. Don't you think that I don't get what people are thinking out there, okay? You need to discipline your thoughts. Look on your mental illness. There was a sacrifice of blood, gentlemen. Because somebody, Christ, was murdered because he was King of kings and King over the Jews. Because he showed amazing love. He walked into the room, and I'll tell you, every gay man's head would turn. This man was stunning. He was glamorous. But he was broke. He was poor, right? He was homeless. But he wasn't poor up here. He wasn't homeless up here. He had a retreat. He had a vacation to attend to see what his father was doing. Correct? He worked off of that. Because of this death of you, and your resurrection, your resurgence, it's alchemy. You become the social, direct cultural impact our public administrators need to see in the local community. Alchemy. Getting you to say that you are smart, you are in love with you. Not talking narcissism, gentlemen. I'll talk more on the culture of narcissism. I know what we're talking about, and you do too. Look at Donald J. Trump. Money, money, money. Power, power, power. I'm a winner. No. The humility of a Christ heart globally does not work that way. Even in global diplomacy, it doesn't even work that way. I don't even know how Donald Trump Dinches can barely say his name. I don't know how Donald J. Trump thinks that getting ahead by saying that is wholeness for a global human family. It isn't. This is why we need you men to stand tall in your courage and psychological masculinity and join in as a community organizer. I'm here to train you on that in a socio-spiritual way through the New World Christ Church, through the Tyler Hamilton University College of Social Behavioral Sciences, the Shock Rock, my celebrity, my gender fuck. I stand there, you know, with a torso nude, with hooker heels, singing like Mario Alonso, like, you know, Dean Martin, what have you. I sing opera, by the way, in Beverly Hills. I'm producing a show. But this alchemy, gentlemen, is because you are smart. You love yourself in humanity. Non-narcissistic, even though we are unconditionally attention whores. Thank you, Madonna whore culture. Then the Madonna whore culture, it's the best place to be because you have broken through what? The limitations of your own creativity set on you as a curse by what? A human-dominated male church that only thinks that they can ordain men. No. No. I'm all for ordaining lesbians. Thank you very much. This is going to help your next generation. And it starts with what? Touching yourself in your own vacation with your divine alchemy. Now, I've said this in one of my teachings. When you go into the study of divine alchemy, it's a very studied thing in the metaphysical world, in fact. It goes back to Edgar Cayce. Divine alchemy has been around for a long time. As far as I'm concerned, divine alchemy came out of the age of enlightenment and Renaissance. Okay, we need this to be discussed among gay men because the Bible was written in the Dark Ages. Correct. Lots of religious wars are because of the Bible being misunderstood. So, you know, if your Christian family has rejected you, hallelujah. But what I'm trying to explain is that you can be the first Rodeo Drive bitches you want, but nothing can separate you from the love of God. It says that in the Bible. I was going to say something and I just lost that thought. I'm walking in and out of epiphanies and heavy revelations, and I'm just in this storage in my mind trying to get it out to you free of charge. Who knows what makes people detour? who knows what makes people turn back to love? You know what it is? It's the desperate heart. It is about what you say and what you do. They say talk is cheap. No, it's not. The Bible says there's life and death in the tongue, gentlemen. So it is about what you do, of course. Action, of course. People are watching. But it has equally to do with what you say. When they say talk is cheap and what you say doesn't really matter, it's about what you do, that's a lie straight from hell, and I can still smell the fucking fire. I'm talking at your vacation in your mind where people don't care for your soul and all the moving parts that we have touched on. You must include property restoration in and for your own head. Don't be a dick on this. It's an hour lecture. But don't be a dick by turning me off. Because I'm here to protect you from all the goddamn fucking motherfucking pieces of shit political tricksters. I'm giving you information from right off of the press, and you know that. It's free. I'm giving you information I give in my private practice to help men. The public practice of Social Alchemy Project Access Management. Listen, I don't want your fucking money. I want the love in our subculture. Now, let's narrow in on you being brilliant, and it's because of sex and gender, right? Gay law and gay democracy. I know something about this. I have a master's in public administration with an emphasis in government and policy. I also have a 4.0 in criminal justice, and I have another undergraduate degree, 3.8 I think, in sociology. The early studies of my university training was all at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts and the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in Los Angeles. Grace Kelly attended it, as well as Robert DeVito and Robert Redford. Then I went up to San Francisco and studied the Alexander Technique, posture, at the San Francisco Conservatory of Music. I've also gotten some film diploma, cinema director type of certificates from the Hollywood Film Institute. I've done work at the Beverly Hills Production Assistants Association to become a worker in film. So, gentlemen, I know that not everybody cares about our souls, correct? Look at our families and look at the Christian church. Do you know that the Christian church failed this generation? So it's up to you, correct? To teach morality. As gay men. You've got to do it. It's expected. Look how smutty this community is. So I am seeking some organization with a committee of mine to start a nurturing class to teach men how to nurture themselves, since no one gives a shit about our souls. And of course with that there's going to be awareness workshops. This is about theory, practice, and pedagogy. Scholar practitioner work for the ethical welcoming collective consciousness, community organizer, intentional community development, social justice prevalence, and democracy promotion without force. Listen, I used to work at the White House. I haven't told many people this. This is in my autobiographical sketch. Pardon me, I can't speak. But listen. I was having sex with men because I was having problems with rent. And these men would be helping me with my rent. I was an imperial bather. And one time, with a man in government in DC. I was actually in Virginia. He trucked me out there. The man was very rich, so he doesn't live in DC unless he's going to live in Georgetown. So I'm coming from a DuPont Circle, the Gay Mecca, Adams Morgan, which is fab. Capitol Hill, lived in different places. And I had a premonition that he was putting a knife over my head. So the sociological and psychological mental illness and damage that did to me puts me in a position to speak directly to your mirror neurons, right back there, the mirror neurons. Don't give me any frequently asked questions on what mirror neurons and just do a search on Wikipedia. I don't have time to discuss that. It's not part of the lecture. But you need to stop fighting your homosexuality, gentlemen, and doubting your homosexuality, because it's working against what? Your humane life sustainability. I want to cry. Because the service that I'm providing you is the activation, gentlemen, to stand tall. I don't care if it's a standing model for you or a flaunt and flirt for you. Flaunt and flirt. Dentures. A bunch of show-offs out there. I don't care. But I care is that while everybody is looking for Mr. Right, that will love them, you need to look for Mr. Not Afraid to Try It. It is about Mr. Right versus the Mr. Not Afraid to Try It. Don't be a liar. Don't be mean-spirited, because you're fucking with Washington, D.C. and what they're trying to do to help you end being bullied and hate crime across the world. You know what? Hey, in Uganda, you're just as equal as a freaking puritanical heretic, bigoted Christians, because you're standing on a building. Because you're gay, you're going to be thrown off of a building in Uganda just like with the Christians as well. So man, if you're sad, it's because you've been living in a what? A dump. Retreat. This is going to be caring about your soul. You do not think that men are quality. I know that about you. You think that they are trash because they've tossed one another around. And you have somehow fallen for the ideological belief that that is hot. And it is. It is hot. Oh, nothing but a circle jerk with me in the middle, and I get all the attention and everybody drowns me with semen. Nothing like being a show-off. There is nothing like being tossed around and gangbanged. You know why? Because the society has gangbanged you, metaphorically and figuratively. They've bent you down and they've fucked you up the ass with HIV. I know what I'm talking about. I see it among Christians, heterosexuals, and homosexuals. It is a humanistic problem. I don't ask for you to join New World Christ Church and give me tithing. I'm not into. I don't want. In fact, I reject tithes. I'm the first church that rejects tithing. We don't operate on sophisticated sound systems with thousands of people in attendance to go see Joel Osteen. God, he's a hot man. Whew! If only he was single. And you know, I'm a gay man, but man, his wife is gorge. Is she fantastic? She's fab. Fabulous. Love her. But men, you have been mounted and you have been seated. I'm talking sexually in the gay community. And that's why it's important for me in your life to be this problem solver for you and to plant these seeds. The race is unimportant. You have to relax. Don't try to be so perfect. Allow yourself to be a dork. It's okay. I know you're fellatio servants. But listen, men are picky out there, though they are trash, and you are picky on them as well. It goes both ways. So when we point the finger, like you've always heard, 3 are pointing back at you. God, I hate this mascara on my finger. See that black mascara? That's how we get the look, the Johnny Depp heroin look. I know this all right here is very George Michael. Man, that's a hot man. So sad he died. Damn. Even Hugh Hefner, the founder of Playboy. Damn, I wish these men didn't die. People say, well, Tyler Lord Hamilton, why do you even need them? And I just didn't want them to die. Well, Tyler Lord Hamilton, why didn't you want these great men to not die? Because I never got to have sex with them. Men, we're not shaming sexuality at all. We're putting it in perspective. Take a human sexuality class at college level, and then you're not going to need to condemn it, you fucking loser Christians. You must enjoy life as it comes to you, no matter the smut. Drugs, deceit, lies, a gay culture, pickiness, not caring for your soul, you needing to be having courage to show some psychological masculinity. You have to show the right ambition. But when men are leaving you out of love and community, you are what? Rejected, and you're put in a very dark space. I'm empathetic to you. I will speak on your behalf in DC when I have the opportunity. And we are going to be just fine. And we have somebody that loves us. And that is God, the Lord Jesus Christ. And there's nothing that you cannot accomplish if you put your mind to it. And that could mean the creative arts of sex. But gentlemen, if you need additional information on how to use your equipment, and I'm not talking about your low-hanging testes, talking about this equipment, the real estate, the property, correct? If you need additional information on how to use your equipment, then you need to pack yourself up and maybe just smoke some good old-fashioned marijuana. They'll know you by our fruits, won't they? Gentlemen, I love you. You are the Social Alchemy Project Access Management Network. Tell all your friends about me because the holdings are limited and the processing is nearly over 400 videos. And because the holdings are limited, it's because the things that we teach now, we're going to get you off of mommy's breast milk nipple and we're going to put you on meat. The Bible talks about getting off of milk and being put on meat. And when I say putting you on meat, I'm not talking about salami and sausage. Okay? I'm talking about what is now going to be digestible for you because you know. Who cares for your soul anyways? Except you? And I care. I care. Remember, I will take a bullet to my head if it means helping you live your divine alchemy, your social alchemy, and your bliss. The study, oh yes, a divine alchemy talks about you not being your body. That's wrong. You are your body. You are the temple of God, the holy temple. Eat healthy. Clean out your gut. Clean out your colon. Detox. Social alchemy and divine alchemy is the fact that you are not just spirit, but you are body. The Christians will tell you, oh, you're only spirit, you're not your body. They tell you because they don't want you to know that they're dysfunctional sexually. Gentlemen, take care of your body. I could be the most healthiest man in the world, doing great things in poli-sci, political science, as a public administrator, and I can still get a bullet put to my head because, no, I am not brutally honest. Honesty hurts sometimes. That's bullshit. Honesty heals. Brutally honest? No. I'm pleasantly honest. So, if you're going to be up there with Madonna and Boy George and Elton John and Lady Gaga, you're going to begin your social alchemy now. Care for your soul. Fuck the bigoted Christians, right? Just fuck them. The soul of Christians can go straight to hell. Gay men, it's time for you to work on these commitments with yourself and show you that you can have more commitment with your spouse, your lover, your same-gender sex marriage when it happens, and show more success than all those damn heterosexuals that keep divorcing each other. Gentlemen, stand up for goodness. I love you, and I can go on and on for eternity, but I gotta go to the restroom right now and take a big, nice, hot, masculine dump. Talk about a bowel movement cleaning out my gut. Hallelujah for detoxing the colon.